Snowflakes fell lazily from the sky, catching the glow of the streetlights as if each one carried a tiny message of hope. The town had dressed itself in Christmas colors, red ribbons, twinkling garlands, and cheerful window displays that promised joy and warmth. But for 10-year-old Lily, Christmas wasn't about the gifts or the glitter. It was about a feeling she remembered only faintly, a feeling that had faded ever since her mother passed away 2 years earlier. Her father, Daniel Hayes, tried his best. He worked double shifts at the shipping company, bringing home takeout dinners and tired smiles. They had moved into a small 2-bedroom apartment after selling their old home to cover medical bills. Christmas had become quieter, simpler, emptier. But this year, Lily was determined to make something magical happen again. That's why she tugged at her father's hand as they walked down the decorated street after grocery shopping. "Daddy," she whispered, "can we look at the lights?" "Just for a minute," Daniel sighed. He was exhausted, but the sparkle in his daughter's eyes was something he could never deny. "Only a minute," he replied with a warm smile. They wandered past the bakery that smelled like cinnamon, past the bookstore with paper snowmen taped to the glass, and then to the old park bench near the giant Christmas tree in the square. That's when Lily saw her. A woman sat hunched over on the bench, wrapped in a large, worn-out coat that barely covered her wide frame. Her hands, swollen from the cold, clutched a chipped thermos as though it was the only thing keeping her alive. She had soft cheeks that drooped with age and sadness, and her eyes, when she looked up, held a loneliness deeper than winter's chill. She wasn't just overweight, she looked like life had piled burden after burden upon her shoulders until she could no longer breathe freely. Most people walked past her without even seeing her. Most people didn't want to. But Lily stopped in her tracks. "Daddy, who is she?" Lily whispered. Daniel followed her gaze. His expression darkened. "Come on, sweetheart, she's just someone having a rough time." But Lily didn't move. Having a rough time, Lily knew what that meant. She remembered the whispers about her own mother, poor woman, suffering, struggling. She remembered the looks when her mother became too weak to move, when people pitied them instead of helping. Lily slowly approached the bench before her father could stop her. "Hi," she said softly, her voice delicate as a snowflake. The woman looked startled. No one had spoken to her in days. Not kindly, anyway. "Hello," the woman replied, trying to smile but failing. "You should get home, dear. It's very cold." Lily glanced at the thermos. "Is there tea in there?" The woman nodded. "Just hot water now, but it's warm enough to hold." Lily hesitated. "What's your name?" The woman blinked at her, as if surprised a child thought she deserved one. "Martha," she said, her voice rough from disuse. "My name is Martha." Lily smiled. "I'm Lily, and this is my daddy." Daniel stepped closer, apologetic. "I'm sorry if my daughter is bothering you." "She isn't," Martha interrupted quickly. "I enjoy company, even for a moment." The wind blew harder, rattling nearby decorations. Daniel noticed that Martha was shivering beneath that thin coat. His heart tightened, but he forced himself to step back, because helping strangers wasn't simple, and he was barely managing to care for his own family. "We should go, Lily," he said, his tone gentle but firm. "But Daddy," Lily's eyes pleaded. "Not now," his look replied. Lily pouted but obeyed. "Bye, Ms. Martha," she said sadly. Martha nodded and watched them leave, her smile disappearing the moment they turned away. That night, Lily lay awake staring at the ceiling, the image of Martha freezing in the cold stuck in her chest like a thorn. "Daddy," she whispered. Her father was half asleep across the hall but he heard her. Some people don't have a home on Christmas. That's not fair." Daniel didn't answer immediately. He knew life was unfair, brutally so. He'd learned that the day he lost his wife. "I know, Lily," he finally said. "But we can't help everyone." Lily turned toward the doorway, eyes shining in the darkness. "What if we could help just one person?" Daniel felt a lump form in his throat. He rubbed his forehead. "Sweetheart, we're struggling too. Rent, groceries, you know that." "I know." Her voice quivered, but she looked so lonely. And cold. Mommy would have helped her, wouldn't she? Silence. Daniel swallowed hard. "Yes," he admitted. "Your mom had the biggest heart." "So do you," Lily insisted. He closed his eyes. If only feelings could pay bills. Finally he said, "We can bring her food tomorrow. Warm food. That's something we can do." Lily smiled at the small victory. But she wasn't done wishing. The next day, They returned with 2 hot sandwiches and a new pair of gloves Daniel bought with the last bit of cash he had planned for his own lunch at work. Martha's eyes filled with tears when she saw them. "Bless your heart," she whispered, clutching the gloves like they were treasure. I haven't had warm food in 3 days." "Eat," Lily urged, watching her eagerly. Daniel stood beside them, feeling conflicted. He admired his daughter's kindness, but he also feared the consequences of caring too much. After Martha finished eating, she told them a little about her life. How she used to bake pies for the local cafe. How she had a husband once, but he died 5 years ago. How she lost her job, then her home, then her friends. "People don't like looking at someone like me," Martha said quietly, placing a hand on her round belly. "Makes them uncomfortable." "It doesn't make me uncomfortable," Lily said. "It makes me want to hug you." Martha broke, her tears silently streaming down her cheeks as Lily embraced her without hesitation. For the first time in a long time, someone treated her like she mattered. Christmas was 5 days away when Daniel told Lily they couldn't keep visiting every day. "We did something good," he explained. "But Martha needs more help than we can give." Lily stared angrily at him. "She doesn't need more help. She needs a family." Daniel froze. "That's not possible." But Lily didn't believe in not possible. That evening, while they were decorating their tiny tree, Lily suddenly spoke. "Daddy." He replied while hanging a worn ornament. "Can we bring her home for Christmas?" The ornament slipped from his grasp and shattered on the floor. He stared at his daughter, her hopeful eyes wide, her small hands clenched, her heart wide open. "Please," Lily whispered, voice cracking. "No one should be alone on Christmas." Daniel's heart twisted painfully. He heard his late wife's voice in their daughter's plea. He saw the woman she would grow into, someone who believed love could fix the world. But he also saw the reality, a stranger with no home, no background check, no answers. "Lily," Daniel's voice was tight, "I don't know if that's safe. We barely have enough space." "We have space in our hearts," Lily said, tears welling. And that was the moment Daniel's resolve began to crumble. Because sometimes children saw the truth more clearly than adults. He knelt down, took Lily's trembling hands in his, and whispered. "We'll see, sweetheart, we'll see." But Lily already knew. She wasn't going to give up. Christmas was coming, and she was going to make sure Martha didn't spend it alone. If you want, I'll continue with part 2, another 1,000 words where Daniel faces his fears and doubts. A heartbreaking accident reveals Martha's hidden past. Lily's Christmas wish changes all of their lives forever. Emotional, powerful ending with a warm homecoming. Martha's bench grew colder each day as Christmas drew closer. The decorations in the town square shone brighter. People walked faster with bags full of gifts, and laughter floated in the air everywhere except where she sat. Lily begged Daniel every morning before school, and every night before bed. "Daddy, she needs us." Daniel tried to stay firm, but every time he looked at his daughter, really looked, he saw his wife's gentle spirit glowing behind those hopeful eyes. And every time he thought of Martha sitting alone in the freezing night, guilt clawed at him. Still, he waited, until life gave him no more time to wait. 3 days before Christmas, Daniel and Lily walked to the square again, carrying a warm blanket they had pulled from their own couch at home. But when they reached the park bench, it was empty. Lily's heart dropped. Where is she? Daniel scanned the area. The snow on the bench was untouched, meaning she hadn't been there all night. A police officer patrolling the street noticed their panic. "You looking for the large woman who usually sits here?" he asked. Lily nodded quickly. "Yes, Martha." The officer's expression softened. "She collapsed last night, hypothermia. We took her to St. Mary's Hospital." Lily didn't wait. She ran. Daniel called after her but ended up racing too, his breath freezing in the air, fear punching through his chest. At the hospital, they found Martha asleep, wrapped in layers of blankets, tubes delivering warm fluids into her arm. Her face looked pale, her eyes sunken, as if cold had stolen pieces of her. A nurse whispered, "She'll be okay, but she needs rest, and someone who cares." Lily stepped closer, touching Martha's hand gently. "We care," she said, voice trembling. Martha stirred, eyelids lifting slowly. Lily," she breathed, surprised. "You came." "Of course we came," Lily replied, blinking away tears. Daniel swallowed hard. This was no longer a passing act of kindness, This woman was part of their lives now. When Martha tried to sit up, her breathing turned shallow, and her chest tightened. The nurse gently pushed her back. "No more worrying," she said. "You're safe." Martha nodded, but a tear slid down her cheek anyway. Safe. It had been years since she'd heard that word applied to herself. Later, Daniel stepped outside to fill out some paperwork, though technically, he had no reason or right to do so. In the hallway, a social worker approached him. "Do you know this woman?" Daniel paused. "Not really. We met her in the park. My daughter, she got attached." The social worker sighed. "She has no emergency contacts. No family, no home. After recovery, she'll go to the city shelter." "But," she hesitated, "those places are full. The waitlist is long. She may end up back on the streets." Daniel felt something inside him collapse. He pictured Martha on that frozen bench again, only this time, not waking up. He glanced through the doorway at Lily, now brushing Martha's hair away from her forehead and talking softly, as if keeping her anchored to life. "What would my wife do?" He already knew the answer. That evening, when Martha slept, Daniel sat beside Lily in the hospital cafeteria. "Sweetheart." Lily looked up, red-eyed from crying. Daniel took a deep breath, a leap of faith. "If Martha wants, and if she promises to let us help her," his voice shook, "then she can come home with us for Christmas." Lily gasped. "Really? But," he added quickly, "only temporarily. Until she's stronger. This is not a forever solution." Lily didn't care. Her joy overflowed as she hugged him tight. "Thank you, Daddy. Mommy would be proud." Daniel felt tears burn his eyes. "I hope so, kiddo." The next morning, Martha was awake, sitting up weakly. Lily ran to her with pure excitement. "Martha, Daddy said you can come home with us for Christmas. You don't have to be alone anymore." Martha froze. Her eyes filled instantly, not with happiness, but fear. "No," she whispered. "I can't do that." Daniel and Lily stared at her, confused. "You're ashamed," Daniel realized softly. Martha nodded, covering her face. "I don't belong in someone's home. People see me as a burden, as ugly, as something they want to hide." Her voice cracked. "I'm too big. I take up too much space." Lily climbed into her arms without hesitation. "You take up exactly the space you deserve." Daniel sat on the edge of the bed. "Martha, you deserve kindness. You deserve warmth. And you deserve a Christmas that doesn't hurt." Slowly, painfully, Martha allowed hope to reach her. "Are you sure?" she asked, fragile as glass. "We're sure," Daniel answered. Christmas Eve. Snow coated the streets again as they left the hospital. Daniel helped Martha into their car, adjusting the seatbelt carefully so she'd be comfortable. Lily gently held her arm the whole ride home. Their apartment was small, a tiny living room with a sofa bed, a modest kitchen, and a Christmas tree decorated with mismatched ornaments. But when Martha stepped inside, she gasped. "There's warmth," she whispered. And she didn't mean the heater. Lily guided her to the sofa, where fresh blankets waited. "We made hot chocolate," Lily announced proudly, "with extra marshmallows, Martha style." Martha laughed, a soft, surprised sound. "You remembered." "Of course." Daniel cooked a simple dinner: roasted chicken, mashed potatoes, and the smell of home. And Martha smiled with every bite, savoring not just the food but the feeling. Later, they sang carols, off-key but happy, and Lily insisted they each hang one ornament on the tree. Martha chose a small star made from cardboard sprinkled with glitter. Lily placed a hand over Martha's and helped her lift it high. When it landed on the branch, Martha inhaled deeply. "Thank you," she said quietly, "for seeing me." Daniel shook his head. "Lily saw you. I just followed her lead." Martha looked at Lily, who was beaming. "You saved me," she whispered. "No," Lily replied, squeezing her hand. "You saved us. Mommy was the heart of our house. When she left, the warmth left too. But now, it's back." Martha's tears glistened in the colored lights. "I haven't felt like I mattered to anyone in so long," she admitted. "But you too, you made me feel human again." Daniel's voice softened. "You are human, and you are loved." Martha broke, but this time, into the kind of tears that heal. That night, when Lily was sound asleep, Daniel brought Martha a pillow and blanket for the sofa bed. She looked at him with timid gratitude. "You didn't have to do any of this." "I know," Daniel said, his voice low. "But sometimes, doing the right thing is exactly what keeps us human." Martha nodded slowly. I will find work again. I'll lose weight. I'll get back on my feet. I promise I won't be a burden. Daniel gently shook his head. Your worth is not measured by your size or what you can do. You deserve peace. And you don't have to earn it. Martha covered her mouth, overwhelmed. Sleep well, Daniel whispered. She did. For the first time in years, she slept without fear of freezing. Without fear of being invisible. She slept, feeling loved. Christmas morning came with the laughter of a little girl who couldn't open gifts fast enough. Martha sat beside Lily, watching joy spill across the floor like sunlight. Daniel made pancakes. Lily and Martha each flipped one. Lily's landed sideways. Martha's landed perfectly. See, Lily grinned. You were born to be a baker. Martha smiled. A real one, bright and alive. Maybe I was. Daniel watched them, his daughter finally laughing again, the hollow ache in his home filling with warmth once more. And he realized, Lily hadn't just given Martha a home for Christmas. She had given their home back its heart.